there. Welcome to Practice Your Positive Daily, the podcast. I am Sass. My real name is Sarah, or Sarah Eve professionally, but really I'm just Sass. So today is a real casual, just kind of catch up episode. It's been a lot of fun. And so this is episode 30, and I'm very proud of myself for sticking through the podcast and getting to episode 30. It's been a lot of fun. Definitely not the way I pictured things going. So if you haven't been here or with me for long, I did lose my home on September 26th. The floods from Hurricane Helene inundated my house and flooded my house with almost 4 feet of seawater. So just picture, let's just pause there for a second and talk about the flood. So I don't think it's bonkers, right? Like if you haven't lived through this, you don't know what it's like. Just like people, I've worked in kidney care for a long time, and I don't have kidney disease. I don't know what it's like. I've spent lots of time with folks and they've explained it to me, but there really is something for until you go through it, not realizing what it's like. And so if you have not been through a flood, if you have not lost almost all of your humanly worldly possessions, it's a real kick in the head. I'm gonna be honest. It's not, I always tell my kiddo, we just lost the easy button. Like when I want to get dressed, I'm like, do I have clothes? Do I have clean clothes here? Oh, they're in the car. Let me go to the car and get the clean clothes. Or, she had a swim meet the other week. And I realized I don't own any Sharpies, right? Like everything. So imagine at your house, take everything at your waist level and down and just get rid of it. Just flood it with water. So that I miss my junk drawer, of all the random stuff. I miss my junk drawer, all those things that you think you need. There's so many life lessons in losing your home and losing your possessions. I don't know. It's bonkers, So that's it. So take everything at your waist level and just get rid of it. Just whatever, it's all gone. So just in your house, everything, every shoe and anything that touched it, right? So my hanging clothes that were dripping in the water, all my, almost all my shoes, my toaster, this is that proverbial, I don't have a pot to pee in. I literally lost all my pots and pans, there's just things, and even things that, you might be able to save because they're contaminated with the flood water. And you're doing all of this remember, we had no electricity. There was no gas in Florida for the week or so after it. And so it's not like, your shoes get dirty and so you go take them to the sink and wash them. You're triaging all your stuff in the middle of a natural disaster, right? In the middle of, there's no gas, there's no electricity, and everything is wet. So it's not that easy to save things and pick things. And some things that probably could have been saved can't be saved because oops, they sat in the water for too long, or oops, this red jacket was wet and it was on this blanket that wasn't wet, but now the blanket, right? After losing so much stuff, you're just just throw it away. I don't even care. Even things that you think you care about, you're I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's just stuff. And then there's other times where it's this little scrap of paper, and this little scrap of paper gets ruined or something. And it's so upsetting. It's so hard. It's really hard. Not to brag, but I had a super cute house. I had a super cute house. I got divorced during COVID, and the house was mine, and it was work from home. And so between making it my own and COVID and work from home, I went all out. My house, I had murals and wallpaper. Really, really cute, guys. It was really cute. I really loved the house. One of my friends from Pennsylvania came to visit me, and she's like, "Oh, it's very much Sarah lives in Florida." I'm like, "Yup." It was super cute. It was super cute. And then so last year in 2023, the house flooded with a dahlia. So a dahlia was a 4-foot storm surge, and I got about 6 inches in the house, 6 inches of water. And so I had to remediate. I didn't lose that much stuff. It was really just that the house was difficult to live in for a few months, right? So I pulled up all the floors, the baseboards, every kitchen cabinet, every bathroom vanity. Looking back on it, I probably wouldn't have done as much as I did. If I had water in the house that wasn't as high, I probably would have stayed and worked through it. But this was so much. So So, I'm staying here and I'm staying there. The Practice Your Positive studio has been kind of, I haven't really found a home for this little podcast studio yet. I'd really like to, but we're kind of scrapping, patching it together. And um, but I'm really taking my time and going slow. After the flood, after the 2023 flood, I really rushed to just make everything like it never happened. I went out, I bought some of the same rugs. I mean, I painted the same color. Like I did not upgrade. I just like da da da, like it never happened, right? The whole goal was just to move on. And I did that. And actually, I had the house redone. My brother-in-law moved in with me. He lives off the grid, but he came up and moved in with me and fixed the house, which was amazing. And then I put a pin in it because my birthday was, I just had a birthday in December. I'm a Sagittarius, which totally makes sense. Does anyone else hate how accurate their horoscope is? Anyone else like feel very seen with their astrology, like as a Sag and like, and then you get your Myers-Briggs and you're like, oh yeah, well that's definitely me. I thought I was this unique individual snowflake, but really, if you knew my zodiac sign and my Myers-Briggs, like that's 80% of knowing me. But anyway, so I just had a birthday. And last year at this time for my birthday last year, I was actually in Tanzania, Africa, on my way to go climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And that experience happened because I was practicing my positive. I'll tell you the story. So in 2023, big year, lots of things happened. I lost my job. I got laid off from my job. Lots of things happened. But that's when I really started vibing and really started that's when I really got very serious only a year ago. I got really very serious about practicing my positive mindset and really gotten a very good stride despite the flood and getting laid off. And, I was in really good space. And so one night I went to REI because I wanted to get a new backpack. I wanted to get a backpack to do some rough camping. And so I went to REI to get a new backpack, and the person helping me was just so pleasant and we got along so well. And I was vibing. I was this sasser. I was cracking jokes and having fun and sharing things and just being like, my best self, my favorite self, my highest self. And Brooke's like, you look like you're in pretty decent shape. I'm taking a group to Mount Kilimanjaro in December. Is that something you'd be interested in? And I was in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm listening. And then she's like, yeah, the first day of, I was like, okay, when is it? And she said, well, the first day is December 2nd, which is my birthday. And I'm like, okay, universe, I will take it. And the funny thing is, here's the part, right? This is the proof that when you're positive and when you're in the zone, all these good things happen. And so, okay, so that's great, right? It was great, right? She invited me on a trip. Here's the trippy part. So 5 years ago, when I moved to Florida, I made myself a 5-year list, things I wanted to do, some physical, some mental, some friendship, some community, blah, blah, blah. One of them was climb a mountain. And I put that on there and I did nothing. I think one time I Googled what's the easiest mountain to climb, and I don't even know what it was. I don't know. But I put that on my list 5 years ago, was to climb a mountain. And here I was just out having fun, being myself. And some person invites me to go climb a mountain. Oh, by the way, we're going to start on your birthday. And because Brooke and Authentica Travel is so amazing, they actually got a chocolate cake up there and the porters brought it and everyone sang. And it was one of those times, it was really magical. I cried. I'm sure I'll put pictures on social media. But I cried. And you know what? I just soaked it in. It was really nice being the center of attention. I felt the love and I didn't feel embarrassed or shy. It just was a really lovely experience. And I let myself enjoy it. I let myself just be there. And so that was my last birthday. It was excellent. I had another trip with them planned for Egypt and Jordan, but I canceled it because of the Uji Buji, which is what my daughter calls the flood. It's less traumatic to always say the flood and hurricane, so we call it the Uji Buji. But that's what I was doing my last birthday. This birthday, a little different, little more, little low key than last year. Not on a trek through Tanzania, but it's all good. Lots of not every day is positive. Not every day looks good, but every day I show up And every day I stick with this, knowing that there is something that I want to give, knowing that there is something in me that I've wanted to share with the world for a long time. And I'm just going to keep going. Like, I'm beginning with no end in mind. Like, I have some dreams and some aspirations of where I want this to be, or what I want, or what I want to give. But I'm really just kind of beginning with no end in mind. I'm just going to show up and be myself and talk about the stuff that I like and talk about what works for me. And we'll just see, right? We'll see where it goes. And this was just kind of a catch up episode. I feel like sometimes, I'm practicing being perceived. I'm practicing being out there and looking myself on camera and just showing up and being myself. And so it's a lot of fun. So that was my last birthday. I don't have any other good plans. I'm going to stay in St. Pete. I do love St. Pete. It's a time of year to reflect on where you've been, where you'd like to go. A gentle day here in the Positivity Gym, but take some time. It's nice this time of year, especially, to be thinking about the past and where you've been and where you'd like to go, reminiscing, thinking about some of the fun memories. And take some time, right? It's busy around the holidays. Carve out 10, 15 minutes just to sit down and reflect on where you've been, where you'd like to go, before we get kind of sucked up in the new year. And just a gentle forewarning about the new year and changing yourself and even practicing your positive, all of this, right? Like, you can change out of love and joy as much as you can change out of fear and pain. And so I just offer that to you. Maybe open it up, that you can, because you can love yourself, and because you love yourself, you can want to do better. You can want to go more toward the things that light you up, that give you passion, the things that light you up, that give you energy, right? Like, you can lovingly change. You can change and reflect in such a way that honors your past experience and leaves the door open for whatever you want the future to look like. I mean, you have that. Like, you are the adult. You can do anything you want. And I think when people say that, you think, well, I wouldn't be president of the United States, or Serena Williams, but I don't have those dreams. If you have a dream in your heart, it's there because it's possible. It's there because that's open to you. And so take it. So maybe just go for it this year. Maybe you just love yourself into being the happiest, healthiest, most connected version of yourself, for no reason, for no gain, for no, right? For just because it's a pleasure to be alive, and because it's a pleasure to be healthy, and it's fun to be happy, and it just feels good. It feels good to feel good. And we can do that. We can change, and we can think back on these things that have caused us pain, or, I know it's all going to be part of the story. That's the thing that cracks me up now, is even though I'm in it right now, I can still see how this is going to be part of, like, the long-term story, right? And what a great story it's going to be one day when I'm like, oh, I began the practice your positive thing back when I was homeless. Like, it's going to be great. It's going to be a great story. It's great for the plot. Who doesn't love this? Suddenly I'm the hero and the underdog and the villain all rolled in one, right? And, thanks for taking this time with me. Just a little chit chat. It's been really nice just having a low pressure, rambling kind of episode. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like this. I'm hoping to land us in a more permanent place soon, so that the Practice Your Positive studio has some consistency. This is not necessarily my aesthetic, would be, this wall. Yeah, the house was cute, right? You saw the house. The house was cute. I had a whole thing. It had the peace sign and my seashells. It was very cute. So we'll get back there again. But until then, so thank you so much. 30 episodes. I'm really excited. There's so much good out there. There is just so much good, and I know it, and I feel it, and I want it for me, and I want it for you, and I want it for us. And I know we can make it happen. Happy, healthy, connected. Happy, healthy, connected. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. That's what you're doing. That's what we're doing. So thank you. Thank you for the time today. Have a great weekend. This is a Friday episode, a little casual chat on a Friday. So today was a light day in the positivity gym. We just did a little stretching, talking about mindset and goals and some human stuff. So, and those days are important too, right? I know I'm pretty intense, but it's good to have a couple of down days too. That's it. I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up for you and for yourself and for the world, right? Whatever you do for yourself, you do for others. Whatever you do for others, you do for yourself. It's a great feedback loop. It's a great, and who knows where I'll be for my next birthday, right? I think that's a fun game too. Who knows where I'll be next year for my birthday, and we'll see. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you working on things. I love you. I do. I love you. I love you. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great weekend. I think it's actually going to be a great life. Honestly, I do. I think it's going to be great. That's it. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday.